So, let's get going with our 2014 Marketing to Engineers event. I'd like to bring up the first two speakers and give you a little bit background on who they are, who they're with, and what they'll speak about. So, our first speaker is Brit Buchanan, Marketing Manager from Thomas & Betts. She is, Brit currently supports 60% of the product groups within her company. She received her bachelor's degree at the University of Memphis and is currently pursuing her MBA with concentration in marketing. Brit? The other speaker who will be joining her in part of her talk is Leonard Salamida, Application Engineers with Thomas & Betts. Leonard Salamida is an application engineer and lead in the Thomas & Betts EFAB service department. Leonard graduated in 2003 from Florida International University with a civil environmental bachelor's degree. Leonard has an extensive background in the construction field for commercial development. Most recently, before joining Thomas & Betts, he was employed with Florida Power & Light, where he was a project manager engineering underground and overhead expansion projects from the substation to the meter. So I'd like to welcome Brit and Leonard. Give them a round of applause, and I will turn it over to Brit.
Brit, check it out. Brand new iPhone 10. Look at this baby. Amazing. Look at that size. It's only 10 inches long. Only 16 ounces.
Only 1 pound?
That's it. It'll fit. It's really just an iPhone 5 times 2. But look at this thing. It's sizzling. It's right out of engineering. 38 megapixel camera.
Does that mean I can take awesome selfies?
Amazing selfies. That's exactly what we designed it for. Selfies. Look at this. 2380 by 1160 pixels. 5300 milliampere hour battery. Lasts for 42 days.
Whoa.
This thing is unbelievable. This will change the world. I'm just going to use it probably for Facebook, but everyone else that uses it, it is going to change the world. I need you to do what you do best. Take this to market.
Leonard, that's a great product. I can't wait to help you take this to market.
Thank you.
First things first, we need to get a hero shot.
Hero shot? Picture of me on the front?
Of course, we're sending you to a photo shoot.
Thank you.
We're going to place this on the front of a Z-fold brochure, and we're going to blast it out to our entire customer base. We're going to get some aqueous coating on a 100-pound cardstock, and then we're also going to get some spot gloss.
Well, I did not understand that, but I have faith that you will do what you do best, so please, take it to market.
You gotta trust me. How many of you are familiar with both sides of the jargon that was just exchanged? A few of you. How many of you can actually relate to this happening on a daily basis, such as engineering or marketing, walking into your office and dumping all of this jargon on you, and then they leave and you find yourself wondering, what did we really even just talk about other than this awesome new product that needs to go to market? We use jargon in our everyday communications, but are we really understanding each other? Clear communication is key, right? Not necessarily. Clear communication all depends on the audience. Leonard and I have learned that marketing needs two things from engineering. We need to be educated on that technical jargon. What is that foreign language that Leonard was just speaking to me? We also need to be educated on the benefit. What is the benefit that this customer is going to receive if they purchase our product? Another lesson that we have learned is bringing in the design engineer on the initial marketing brief. This always helps to connect that gap for marketing. This gives us a chance to admire the way that engineering perceives all of our launch components, and it also gives us a chance to ask questions so there's no miscommunication on the back end.
Jargon connects us. It makes us feel that we have a parallel listener. It gives us a verification in the conversation. Jargon is not specific to engineering. It crosses all fields and all disciplines. When we collaborate, such as marketing and engineering, we have to work through that cloud of jargon. Marketing in our company is famous for all their acronyms. I don't get their acronyms. I have to ask every time they have an acronym. We had lunch with the other presenters. I have no idea what any of their acronyms were. It was just jargon. They were speaking jargon, okay? I didn't get it. But we have to work through that. We have to have the understanding. Engineering and marketing have to be sold on the product, not just as a new product, its ingenuity, its greatness, but we have to get to the marketing team, what is the benefit of this product? What is the value to the customer? What is that experience the customer is going to have? Jargon to a non-technical audience is just falling on deaf ears. But details should not be taken out of description to a technical audience. Jargon, especially with engineering, brings a familiarity and a connection in the conversation. It puts us on the same field.
What it comes down to is trusting that each other knows what they're speaking about and learning to pick out the value from each point of view. We cannot accept that once we transfer our knowledge that the job is complete. Remember those two things I said marketing needs from engineering. We need to be educated on that technical jargon, and we need to know what the benefit is. Jargon depends on your audience. Find that common denominator, and that will help to determine whether you can throw your jargon around or not.
So, what are engineers thinking? Good luck with that one. We're thinking proficient. We're thinking optimization. Okay? Anybody come through the airport on their way here? Anybody? The security line. Was that the perfect example of optimization? I think not. Why we have not fixed that, I don't know. Why we keep throwing more employees at it and it's still not being fixed. It's using old technologies. There's no optimization. The engineer, I know myself best, so I'll use myself as the example. Engineers know, I know, that I want efficiency, okay? When I go pay for something in a store, I go to Walmart, Target, whatever, if you're okay with that. Target, okay? I go to Target. When you go to pay, which line do you get in? Shortest. Engineers know majority of the population is right-handed, and your right leads. So you never go to the lines on the right. You always go to the left. Is that just me? They're usually shorter. Use a restroom. Maybe a little too personal. Use a restroom. Do you use the restroom on the right-hand side? Absolutely not. They're the most heavily used restrooms there are. So what do? You go all the way to the back and to the left. Is that just me? It's just me. Or maybe it's too personal. This is get to know Leonard time. We put product and we put situations in two categories, either needs improvement or needs fixing. The engineer typically will not accept the hard sale. We will be the most skeptical audience for a sale. We're okay with the technicalities. We're okay with the jargon. We're okay with the details. We're okay with all the data, all the comparison analysis. That's what we're comfortable with. That's where we're going to make our decision based on. Sometimes engineers are very concrete in their decisions. And that comes from training, and it comes just from your daily life and your profession. And we make our decision. It's based on fact. It's based on detail. It's based on comparison of numbers. It's not a pie in the sky. We didn't pull it out of nowhere. Now, I try to explain this to my wife, that typically my decisions are complete opposite of hers. But I try to explain to her, hey, I'm not just choosing this because it's the opposite, okay? I have my reasons. I have my proof. I have an Excel sheet to show you, you know? I can prove this, that my way is better. It doesn't always fly. It never flies, actually. And I get called names a lot. But anyways, we cannot impede a project with our concrete decision. Do we need to change our spec on a product? No, absolutely not. But we have to explain, we have to educate marketing on that jargon. We have to have that confidence, not only in our product, but we have to have the confidence and the ability to hand it over and let marketing do their job.
Picture yourself walking into Best Buy. Originally, you had planned to go buy a new camera. But out of the corner of your eye, you see this great new promotion that they're running for this Samsung Ultra HD TV. Does this catch your attention? Of course it does. We have balloons, we have giveaways, we even have cookies. But are you now 100% going to purchase this TV? As a smart buyer, we like to think not. But it does catch your attention. It does draw you over there to learn more about this, to learn about the technical details and the specifications. In my experience, the Hollywood approach doesn't typically work unless you do have these supporting facts and figures to back it up. Engineering sometimes think that their ideas are genius and will simply sell themselves. But as marketing, we know that you do have to have that promotional fluff, and you do have to highlight that benefit to draw these people in. There's a saying in Texas that you can't be all sizzle and no steak. Marketing provides that benefit, but engineering provides the proof.
David Packard of Hewlett-Packard said, "Marketing is too important to leave to the marketing department." Please don't be offended, let me explain. Again, I am presenting from the engineer point of view, okay? So please don't be offended. Do I have at least half the room on my side? At least half, please. I gotta clap, thank you. Engineering can create a product. They also assume, and I speak again from personal reference, that we can market that product. Would we ever allow marketing to engineer a product? There's no way, okay? But we have to have that reciprocating confidence in each other. Now, coming to this company, I came, a little bit of my background was given by Jim, and I came from the construction world and very different than the engineering world. I had the engineering degree, went to work in construction, market tanked, used my engineering degree, got into engineering. Now, when I came to Thomas & Betts, I had my own idea of marketing, okay? In our dynamic at Thomas & Betts, engineering as well as product management is partners with marketing, okay? We have to work together. I came with the idea, I had my own ideas, again, because they're my ideas, they're amazing, right? They're great because they're mine, and I'm an engineer. I can fix these problems. If you can't sell it, I can. But I came with the idea of, does anybody remember the old Herbal Lessons? Right? I mean, if you YouTube it, you have to be like 18 to watch those old reruns, okay? So you've got like this amazing, beautiful woman washing her hair in the middle of a lake under a waterfall. Okay, I just assumed we were going to market all my products that way, okay? Like I said, I came from the construction world. It was a little more raw, it was a little more basic. I brought that to marketing. I bring many good ideas to marketing. And many times, I hear no. Most times I hear no. And again, we're partners, right? We're still partners. Sometimes we have conflict. Sometimes I want it my way. But I have to compromise. I cannot be so rigid in my decision. And don't let the smile fool you. She rules with an iron fist. Brit markets, she's the marketing manager for about 60% of the product at Thomas & Betts. And she is the first line of defense, I guess you could say, with bad ideas. So I bring many to her, and many times I'm knocked down. We have to be in sync. We have to be in sync not only for ourselves, but for the launch, for the end user. We have to empower the message to the end user.
Okay, since we already pointed out all our engineers, where are the marketeers in the audience?
Oh,
Okay,
wow, there's a
so
lot
you can
more.
relate to this.
Thought I had 50%.
We as marketeers believe that we are the only ones in our right mind. However, we are smart enough to realize that it takes two sides of the brain to make the equation. Right brain people tend to be creative intuitive, and very visual type people. As you can see from our PowerPoint slide, the right side is beautiful. It's pretty, it's colorful, just as marketeers and right-brain thinkers. Let me give you guys an example of how a typical right-brained person thinks. My boyfriend and I were planning a trip to Hawaii a few years ago. I had painted this vivid picture of our entire vacation. First, we were going to take a helicopter ride and hover over all of these beautiful waterfalls. Then we were going to go snorkeling. We were going to swim with these enormous sea turtles and swim throughout the coral. Then we were going to end our day sipping pina coladas, watching the sunset on the beach. After I painted this beautiful picture, I was sold. But he only had one question to come back with.
How much is this going to cost me?
Very typical of not only men, but engineers and left-brain thinkers. Left-brain people want only just the facts, ma'am.
So there's a software manager, a hardware manager, and a marketing manager on their way to an appointment, and tire blows out. They all get out, and the software manager goes, hey, this is a hardware problem. This isn't my problem. No software guys here. Hardware guy gets out and says, hey, maybe if we restart the car, it'll fix itself. And the marketing manager says, 75% of it works, let's just ship it. I love that. Whatever, I love that joke. Engineers, you may catch their eye with the flashy, okay? But we need practicality. We won't be sold by the Best Buy example of cookies. It may get our attention. I'm going to the table with the cookies, there's no doubt. But am I gonna buy anything based on that flash and that, call it hoopla? No, I need practicality, I need value. Recently, as an example, I have purchased a TV, and I did my research for almost over a year. First off, because I'm cheap. Second, because I wanted to know that I was getting value for my dollar. I wanted to know that I was not over-purchasing or under-purchasing. I didn't want to pay for something I wasn't going to need, and I didn't want to have to, in a year, say, oh man, I should have upped that, okay? I should have went for the better model. So, had it for 2 months, haven't watched any movies on it. My kids pretty much have used it full time though. But, again, practicality. Engineers are designers, mathematicians, and problem solvers. Marketing has a very tough job when targeting the engineer. Marketing creates a perceived value, a sort of intangible value. Engineers need a calculatable value. They need something definitive. They need a comparison. They need a hard number to compare against, and that's how they make their decisions. Who used toothpaste this morning? I was expecting 100% on this. All right? Now, I am a Colgate fan, okay? I hate Crest. I love Colgate. I will only purchase Colgate. I'm an advocate of Colgate, okay? I don't know what you use, but everybody says, hey, how are your teeth so white? I use Colgate. I mean, that's it. It's like sand against your teeth. I mean, you foam like you have Alka-Seltzer in your mouth, you know? I mean, the stuff's awesome. I will not use Crest. If I'm out, I'll go to the store. If the store doesn't have it, I've got a problem, okay? I'll keep searching until I find it. I'll use my daughter's Dora the Explorer Hubba Bubba Fresh before I use anything else. I have to have my Colgate. And this decision is not just a default anymore, but I am very biased to my decisions. And now I have become emotional about my decisions.
Marketing needs engineering just as much as engineering needs marketing. As Leonard said, emotion ties to all of our decisions, but it's the logic behind our decisions that's going to procure the sale. We understand that you must have the supporting facts to back up all these launches, but it's the benefit that's really going to draw you in. It takes two sides of the brain to make this decision. The left side for perceived value and the right side for value or perception of the brand. They work together to make this whole purchase decision work. If you can pull value from each side, then you can have an explosive launch. You must have the confidence from both sides to allow each other to advance into the market. Why is marketing important? Marketing in our industry is especially important because a lot of our products are not impulse buys, but rather project-driven purchases. We're also faced with trying to market commoditized items. So compelling and constant marketing collateral and launches are key. Our type of buyer weighs the facts, makes comparisons, and buys based on what fulfills his requirements. We as marketing want to grasp your attention, but we also want to support it with all the technical details behind it. Think back to the Best Buy example. One would have never been drawn in if it wasn't for the balloons and the cookies. Engineers don't like the teasing and they don't like the superficial fluff. And we want these people to buy our product. But not only do we want them to buy our product, we want to make them an advocate of our brand.
I believe one of the most complementary attributes to both marketing and engineering is their attention to detail. For engineering to create a product, to design a product, and to get that manufactured in the way that they expect it to be used and the value that it's expected. To marketing, I believe detail is imperative because they create a piece of collateral, it's in the hands of the user, and there's a very brief moment that there's a decision to be made. Am I going to look further? Am I going to investigate this? Did it catch my eye? Or do I toss it and move on? Engineering needs marketing to understand that we prefer the data. That's the sell for us. We prefer the evidence. We prefer the numbers. That is what's going to convince us. That's how we make our decision in our purchase, whether it be for purchase or whether it be for speccing in a product. Marketing needs engineering to understand. We cannot dump our jargon and expect everyone to understand that. We need to expand upon that. We need to teach our jargon and our ways, and not only about the product itself, but about the benefit to the customer. That is the whole point. We're not just trying to create a customer, we're trying to create repetitive customers.
Leonard, guess what?
What's up?
I'm going to buy a new phone today.
Really? What kind of phone?
Only the new Apple iPhone 10, of course.
Why would you choose that phone?
Well, I've always loved Apple, but you sold me on the 38 megapixel for all of my selfies.
Great. I'm glad we could make an advocate of you yet.
We in our business are here to make advocates of all of our customers. It takes good engineering and good marketing to make that happen. Leonard and I encourage you all to have an open mind to work together in full alignment, not only to have successful product launches, but to make advocates of all of our customers.
Thank you.